Here's a really fun map and globe skills activity that you can adapt to just about any grade level and just about any content. It uses any type of robot. I'm going to use the type of robot that follows a marker path for this demonstration, but I'll have some examples of a different kind at the end. And really you can adapt it to any kind of robot you may have available. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a follow a line scavenger hunt. And this is really great for blending in procedural writing skills if you are not departmentalized or if you wish to teach your students that. So essentially this one starts ready-made. The students will follow the directions. Place your robot on the line that goes to the north. Write the letter found at the end of the line in box number 1 in the first box. So here's the box, and we're going to turn our robot on. Now to get our robot used to the lighting conditions here, we're going to go ahead and calibrate him. I'm going to push and hold this button until he flashes white. I'm going to set him in a black spot about the size of a quarter, a little bit bigger. And when he goes green, he's ready to go. So now I'm going to set him on the line that goes to the north, just like the directions say. He follows it out to the end. He gets the code to turn around and come back. You'll see that little red and blue code right there. That's to turn around. And so he went out to the end. I saw the letter H. So that's what I'm going to write down in my secret message. Now, if I continue to follow the directions, it's going to spell out hello friend. You can find this activity in our Georgia Inspire. I will include a link in the video for you to get this activity. But the way that you can adapt it, first of all, after the students complete the ready-made one, then they can make their own. So they can change what letters are at the ends of the various directions, and they can write their own set of instructions for another pair of students to follow. The other pair does the same thing with a different message, and then they swap their sheets and the students decode the message by following the directions on the sheet. Also, if you're doing math skills and you want to combine math skills for older students, this is a 360-degree protractor with a compass rose in the middle. If you're working with younger kids, you can simply use the cardinal directions. If you're working with older students, you can use the intermediate directions as well. These compass rose resources are available in our Inspire Supports bubble. Again, I'll provide the link at the end of the video. You can also do a fun landform scavenger hunt. In this same packet of resources, we have some illustrated landform cards with the answers on the back. And students can create a similar set of directions, but instead of having a letter out at the end, they can have a landform card out at the end. So their directions can say, navigate your robot to the canyon. Which direction did you travel? Or go north. Which landform did you find at the end of the line? So as you can see, this activity is really adaptable and a lot of fun. Here's another example using a different robot.
I am traveling directly north at 0 degrees.
The nice thing about this one is you can add steps to this. So you can program the robot to go north, and then you can, from this location, go on to the next direction, kind of like following a treasure map.
One of the things that I really love about using robots in the classroom to teach social studies skills is that they're incredibly accessible for all children. The first robot that I showed you can be programmed by younger children and older children by following a marker path, and the program is in the codes. But it can also be programmed using a block-based programming language, which is great for somewhat older kids. So as you see, I click on movement and I have these movement codes that I can pull out. Move forward, distance, 1 step, speed, medium, and all of these things can be changed. If I want light effects, again, I have various choices here. I can just drag them out and hook them up right here. The second robot that I showed you can also be programmed with block-based programming. And here's the program that I created for the last activity that you saw. So you see we've got on start program, and again I have these blocks that I simply pull out to code it. We have a movement block that says roll, and it's the direction that I want the robot to roll, and I can just drag this, or if I'm teaching math skills, I can just click in here and I can type in 90 degrees. Tell it how fast, and again I can click and drag this slider, I can choose forward or backward, and I can set the speed here if I would rather do it with numbers. And then of course you have to tell it for how long to roll forward at that speed. And this is in seconds, And you can use decimals, so 0.2 seconds, 0.4 seconds, or you can use whole numbers. Be careful with not very big numbers, your robots will be out the door and halfway down to the media center. Another great thing about that particular model of robot is that students can program the light matrix. So you'll notice it said north. There are some ready-made animations, but students can also create their own by simply opening up the Create a Matrix image and clicking and adding colors. This can actually incorporate a little bit of art into your project. And what I really love is the robot is programmed to speak. Now, as you heard, it uses a very computerized voice, and it does speak from the device, not directly from the robot. But this allows you to introduce some writing skills, as well as offers great support for students that are perhaps new to speaking English or just really shy. There are many other things these robots can do, as you can see across the bottom, and the programming can get quite sophisticated if you start using variables and functions. I mentioned earlier, most of these robots are really adaptable for all age groups. For example, this robot, you can program it using the block-based programming language, but it's also super accessible for your younger students because you can do draw programs. For a draw program, you simply choose Draw, select the type of robot you're using and click Create. And now students simply draw the shape that they want the robots to follow. And then they just click Start and the robot will follow the path that they drew. So it's really easy for all ages to use. I hope you enjoyed learning about this fun activity that you can use with classroom robots. We are continually growing our STEM and robotics supports for social studies. If you go into Inspire at inspire.gadoe.org and you go to the Social Studies bubble and you find the Social Studies Supports bubble, in here you'll see STEAM and our robotics resources. So keep coming back and checking because we're constantly growing our collection. Thanks so much for watching.